Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Russian, and I have some extremely unpopular opinions about Call of Duty Zombies, and I want to share some of them with you guys today. And before we get into the video, I want to stress that these are just opinions. Please don't crucify me in the comments over my opinion. I get if you have a different one, and you're going to constructively try to persuade me to the other side, but if you're just going to include a comment like, oh, you're a dumb fag, then that's not really all that constructive. But I just wanted to figure that I'd throw this in the beginning, because I know that everybody got triggered at my video from a couple days ago. Like, it was just an opinion, but I know so many people got triggered, so I figured I'd put this in here. So my first unpopular opinion is that 5 is the worst Call of Duty Zombies map ever made. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably just raise your eyebrows and you're like, wait, he doesn't think that TranZit's the worst map ever made? How could that be? Well, I don't know, 5 just ticks all my boxes for being a bad map. Personally, I like big maps, I like new perks, I like good wonder weapons, and I like at least one good training spot, and to me, 5 has none of those. To start off with the wonder weapon, the winner is hell. Personally, I think that's the worst wonder weapon ever made, but I'll get into that later. But personally, it's just the worst ever made. There are no actual good training spots. I mean, the best one that you can actually do is the war room, and that really only lasts until like the mid-30s. And then what are you going to do after that? You can't really camp because there's no double pack abilities on Black Ops 1. So what are you going to do, really? I mean, the winner's howl doesn't work after the 30s, and the spawns get too fast. I mean, what are you going to do? Go and set windows and, try to do that for 4 hours to actually go and set up for a high round? Then there's the fact that it's a small map. I really just don't like small maps because of the fact that it doesn't give you enough area to actually maneuver around the zombies. There's a difference between being an extremely big map that is too big, and there's a difference between being a small map and a small map that really works. To me, 5 is too small. Yeah, theoretically it's big because of all the labs and stuff, but not a lot of that space is used very well, and you can't use it very much when you're actually training and doing a lot of stuff in zombies that really matters. And lastly, it kind of pisses me off that it's just the original 4 perks plus Mule Kick that they added in later. Personally, I think that 5 would have been a much better map if they had added something like Widow's Wine in way earlier. I know that Zombies as a whole would have been different if it had Widow's Wine in there before because it would have taken out PhD Flopper. But even if they had PhD Flopper, something like that, Widow's, PhD, whatever it is, it would have been so much easier if that map had it, but it just didn't. Now, my second unpopular opinion is that the jet gun is not the worst wonder weapon of all time. Personally, I think it's the winner's howl. So this might seem a little bit weird to you because so many people have always said the jet gun is terrible, and the winner's howl, yes, it's bad, but at least it's somewhat usable into the 30s. But my problem is that I'm a kind of high round guy. As you can see by some of the gameplay that I'm going to be throwing around, I go to pretty high-ish rounds. I'm not a world record player, but I like playing zombies for high rounds. And to me, a wonder weapon isn't good if it can't kill anything past round 45, round 50, whatever it is. But the jet gun, theoretically, actually has an infinite amount of damage. You can actually see some of the strategies that these guys have to get to round like 140, and they just use the jet gun forever. Yeah, it takes a little bit of a trick to be able to do it, and yes, it's heavy, but theoretically, the jet gun isn't actually that bad. And the other thing is that if the jet gun breaks, you can actually just go and pick it up, and it's, right back to where it was. You just have to wait for it to cool down. It has infinite ammo. Well, with the winner's howl, the thing is just terrible. It doesn't actually really free zombies in an entire mag past like round 35. The thing is absolutely garbage, and it's not a good wonder weapon. It doesn't carry any ammo, doesn't do any damage. I don't even like the design of the damn thing. Now, my third and last unpopular opinion is that Black Ops 3 on last gen isn't as bad as everyone says it is. Now, yes, last gen Richtofen is probably one of the best memes to come out of zombies in a long time, if not ever, but if you actually break it down, there's a lot of people that actually played Black Ops 3 on last gen because of the fact that they didn't have newer gen consoles, and for what it was, they didn't really do all that bad. A lot of people try to compare Black Ops 3 on last gen to, let's say, Origins, where Origins looks really good and that was made in 2012, and then Black Ops 3 on last gen was made in 2015 and it looks like trash. Well, there's a reason why that is, and that's because Black Ops 3 as a whole requires a lot more actual power to be able to run these maps, especially Shadows of Evil. That's why they had to take so much actual detail out of the map. I'm not sure why they didn't put as much effort into it as they could, but the fact of the matter is that for what it was, it could have been so much worse. This also opened up an opportunity for people that don't have a lot of money that they could play Black Ops 3 on the Xbox 360 or the PS3, whatever it is. They were able to play this even though they didn't have a next-gen console. And I get it, a lot of people say, oh, you really should upgrade, but not a lot of people have a lot of money that are able to buy these and then buy newer games. So for those guys, it was just a cool opportunity to be able to at least play Black Ops 3 and then one DLC, which was probably one of the best ones they could have gotten, which is Der Eisendrache. And Der Eisendrache, for, again, what it was, didn't actually look that bad. It looked better than Shadows of Evil. So something I decided to do for this video, and I might do it for some videos in the future, I actually asked people on Twitter what their unpopular opinions were on zombies, and Dr. Phil Solar, and to the HE10, replied to me and he said that the ice staff to him was the worst staff to play with because a delayed charge shot took too long to kill the zombies after it actually hit the ground. And I would actually kind of agree with him that it does take way too long. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I would really appreciate it. It's in the description down below. I always tweet. You guys will know what I'm doing. I always ask for opinions, polls, whatever. If you guys want to ever know about anything that I'm doing, go follow me on Twitter. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, with all that aside, I think that's it for today's video. Like I said, tell me in the comment section what you guys think. If you guys could leave a like, I'd really appreciate that because this is going to get some dislikes. Again, on my last video, the reason that the ratings are private isn't because there's a lot of people, putting hate comments, whatever. I got dislike botted, a ton of likes before the video actually even had barely any views. So I know that it was a bot and it wasn't just people leaving a dislike because they thought it was, a bad opinion, whatever it was. It had about 20 dislikes, in I think 10 minutes or whatever, and it had 40 views, which I know is bullshit. So anyway, if you guys could leave a like, I'd appreciate that. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.